Okay. So today's question is, what's the difference between tea and tisane? So let's dig into it. The teas, generally, tea comes from the plant called the Camellia sinensis. It is a plant that is a caffeinated plant, and this is, if your tea comes from this plant, then it is a tea. This is the traditional tea plant, and this plant can be processed in a number of ways. So depending on how it is processed, when it is picked, how it is picked, whether it is picked as a young leaf, or whether it's allowed to be matured, and how it is dried, how it's processed, then you can get your green tea, you can get your white tea, it can be, processed, and then you have an oolong tea. Depending on where it comes from, how it's processed, how long it's dried, when it is picked, the amount of the caffeine in the plant differs, the taste differs. Even where it grows, you can have green tea taste a little different because it grew in different parts of the globe. So that is the real tea. That is what we call the real tea. Now, tisane is actually what a lot of people call herbal tea. The tisanes are actually made from other plants that is not the Camellia sinensis plant. So tisanes can come from the herbs, it can come from roots, the flowers, the spices, all that stuff, all the other plants that we can steep and drink as a tea is actually tisane. So examples would be your chamomile, it would be your mint, it would be rooibos, would be hibiscus. All these other teas that we drink, the blue tea, that's the butterfly pea flower, and anything really that we can infuse and drink as a tea is a tisane, really. And usually we would call these herbal teas. They do not come from the actual tea plant. And so that's the difference between a tea and a tisane. So I hope that makes sense for everyone. So please tell me, what is your favorite tisane? And I can certainly share mine. Mine would be rooibos. I love rooibos. I love the hibiscus. Of course, I love chamomile for sleeping. I love mint. Um, I love mint for your gut health. Even ginger. If you grind ginger and make a ginger tea, I love, love, love ginger tea for inflammation. Um, and what else? What else? What else? What else? The common teas. So there's yerba mate, and that is also a herb that contains caffeine, but it's also a herbal tea. So we have all kinds of, like, you can imagine, hundreds and hundreds of herbal teas. But when it comes to the traditional tea, it comes from one plant and one plant alone. And the way it's processed is what would give us variants of it, which is the green tea. You can even have the green gunpowder tea, or you have the black gunpowder tea, or you have the white tea, the oolong, the Earl Grey, the English teas. All those come from the tea plant Camellia sinensis. So I hope that answers your question.